it's actually been it's been quite a while since I've reacted to Ryan Kinel, aka RK Outpost, who is a Geeks and Gamers shill. I'm just kidding. But anyways, he made a video called "Marvel Needs Chris Evans to Say Sam Wilson is Captain America. Fans don't agree." Now, Ryan Kinel is one of those grifter accounts who I honestly, I genuinely believe that most of the things he says he doesn't actually believe. Either that or he's just a nut job or anything. But I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Watch this video. I don't know, but basically to kind of give you context as to what's happening, basically Hollywood Reporter, the most reliable source in Hollywood, has confirmed that the Nigerian American filmmaker Julius Ona is going to be directing Captain America 4. Now I don't know Julius Ona much. The only movie I know him from is Cloverfield Paradox. That's all I know. uh, and so this happened, they confirmed it. And spoiler alert for Falcon and Winter Soldier, at the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier, Sam takes up a new mantle, Captain America. But even before that, in Endgame, Steve Rogers, old man Rogers, gave the shield to Sam and said, "Hey, it's your turn, man. It's your turn." This prompted freaking Captain America himself to say Sam Wilson's Captain America, because a lot of people just don't like the idea of Sam taking over. Now, I've already said my thoughts in the past. I honestly don't. I'm not the biggest fan of derivative characters, but I do think they can be done right. I honestly wish that at the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier, instead of taking up the Captain America name, I kind of wish you'd been like, "No, I'm gonna be Falcon. I'm gonna carry on your shield. I'm gonna carry on your legacy, Steve. But I'm also my own man. I'm gonna do my own hero's journey." And I also find it weird just giving the name to somebody. But either way, that'd be a little hypocritical because I love Miles Morales as Spider-Man. To be fair, though, I do call him Miles because everyone knows that the most popular Spider-Man, the most loved, is Peter Parker. Same thing with Captain America. Steve Rogers is the most popular. Even with Hulk, the more popular one is Bruce Banner. It's just how the situation works, and it's normal. It's fine. But I'm also excited for Captain America 4 because I thought Falcon and Winter Soldier ended in a. I thought Falcon and Winter Soldier was an alright show. I feel like my only complaint I had with Falcon and Winter Soldier is it wasn't all that entertaining. It kind of felt like halfway through the show, they had ideas, but they never wanted to go like one thing I'll say in Falcon and Winter Soldier, they really wanted to tackle the issue of what if a black man took over the shield of Captain America, and they didn't really. It felt like they were scared to go that way, but they did show you a bit. Like my favorite scenes in the show are when Isaiah Bradley's there, talking about how he hates having gone through everything he's gone through. And I think the show had some interesting ideas, but it felt like they were also too scared to go that way. Now, this has prompted arguments. Now, I'll say this right now. I haven't seen the video, but I don't think he's being intentionally racist. Uh, I think people need to stop. Look, I've fallen victim to this. I literally did this when the whole Moses Ingram stuff was happening. I genuinely believe that people need to stop using the racist term so liberally. I think people need to start holding back and actually listen to the people making these stupid complaints and hear them out, try educating them. And, I think that's the only way we're going to get things done. I know people get mad at me when I'm very calm about it. And I know people get mad at me when I say that, hey, we can't just be calling these people racist, sexist, and all this. People get mad at me for that because they're like, oh, but they are that. Like, for example, I see some people calling geeks and gamers white supremacists and all this. And I always tell them, well, if you call them that, then that word almost means nothing anymore. Because the more you use a word, the less it means anything, maybe this is a poor example, but the hard R-N word. Back in the 1800s, any white slave owner said that word, and it was just a common phrase. But because society throughout the years has less and less accepted that term, it's now gone to a point where that term is something that you can never use, which reasonably so. That's a word that has a lot of bad history towards it. And so these words, if you use them too much, they almost mean nothing. And in yes, they meant something in the 1800s, but to like the general public back in the 1800s, the hard R-N word didn't mean anything because everyone used it. No one cared about it. But now we live in a society where the words the words now been limited to the point where now that word holds a lot of value. Like, for example, if Ryan Kinel was to say the hard R-N word in this video, his career is probably over. Even his own subscribers would get mad at him. And I think that people need to stop just quickly saying race. So I'll say this right now. If you're somebody who believes Sam Wilson is not Captain America, that's cool. You're allowed to your own entitled opinion. I'll just say I think some of the people that are saying that Sam Wilson is not Captain America, I do think it's based off of this false woke SJW agenda. And I feel like some people need to start learning what really woke means. I think a quick Google search would actually help because nowadays calling everything woke, that's actually one thing I've also said. The term woke means nothing anymore. Just like the term racist almost means nothing anymore. When I call somebody racist on my channel, it's literally now seen as a joke, which is a joke that I've made on my own streams. For those people who subscribe to me, you guys know the context, but racist means so little now that it doesn't really mean anything bad almost anymore. Like if I was to right now say Ryan Kinel's racist, no one would care. No one cares. Because that word's been used so much. Same thing with the term woke. People don't really seem to know what woke is. It just seems like if a character is not a straight white male, then that's woke. And I feel like a lot of people aren't educating themselves. I'm fine if you don't like the character. I won't lie to you. I think Steve Rogers is a far better character. I'll say this right now. I kind of wish they had gone more with Sam Wilson saying, "Hey, I don't want to just be the next Captain America. I'm going to be my own hero, but I'll still take up your mantle." That's kind of what I wish they had gone with. But regardless, I think people who are really mad at this comment probably shouldn't be mad. It's a simple tweet. And I already see the memes and all that. And I don't like these channels like Geeks and Gamers Neurotic because a lot of them are very stupid. They don't really ever add any nuance and they're very disingenuous in their comments. But hey, let me watch this video. I feel like I'm rambling on too much. Let's watch this video.
Cinematic universe for the past few years. You should already know that Sam Wilson, the character who was known as Falcon in the comics and in the MCU for years, has recently taken up the mantle of Captain America. He gave him the shield in Endgame. They had an entire series, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, dedicated to try to convince the audience that this is Captain America. He deserves to be Captain America, and he will have the shield going forward in the Marvel Cinematic.
I will say this. Do you think Ryan Kinel would be this mad if they had just said John Walker is going to be Captain America? Because remember, when that first episode, I mean, everyone already knew what's going to happen, but when that first episode of Falcon Winter Soldier came out and we saw that new John Walker, a lot of these channels weren't complaining at all. They were just like, oh, okay, new Captain America. Although there was a lot of memes, but you didn't say it with John Walker. Although I'll say this, maybe it's the racism. Maybe it's the racism in me, but John Walker honestly was the most interesting character in that entire series. And I liked the show a little bit. Then again, if you want to confirm I'm racist, to be honest, my Twitter and YouTube are on white mode. So, yeah. Maybe Ryan Kinel, look right here. He has it on dark mode. So maybe I'm the real racist. I don't know. Look, if me saying racist doesn't mean anything. That's why I'm so tired of people using that term so liberally.
Universe. But when you need all of your fan base on social media, and when you need the actor who used to play that character in Chris Evans to come out just to make the statement and try to convince everyone that indeed Sam Wilson is Captain America, you might have a little bit of a branding problem on your hands. And it all started with this tweet from the Hollywood Reporter.
I don't know how that would be a branding problem. If the actor of that section of the franchise, the Captain America franchise, the main actor saying, "Hey, Sam Wilson's Captain America," I don't see how that's a brand. In fact, that's just a good promotion. That's good promotion. I don't know.
Captain America 4 has a director. Nigerian-American filmmaker Julius Ona, perhaps best known for helming the Cloverfield Paradox, will direct the fourth installment.
Yeah, I thought the movie was
of the
average.
Captain America film franchise with Anthony Mackie set to star. We knew that Captain America 4 had been in the early stages of development for a while now, but now we finally have this news. It was also covered in this article from the Hollywood Reporter. But if we scroll down through this tweet thread, you'll see this. Anthony Mackie is reprising his longtime Marvel character of Sam Wilson, but will not, however, portray Wilson's longtime alter ego and Captain America sidekick, Falcon. Again, maybe they thought they needed to add that because, maybe not everybody watched Falcon and Winter Soldier, and it was honestly dog shit. And if you tuned into that, you realized it was just an entire commentary about racial politics in America. Maybe a lot of people decided to tune out for that.
I mean, what did you expect, though? I mean, have you read the comic of Falcon turning into Captain America? I would say the comic's even more political than that. Like, for example, everyone theorized John Walker was going to be racist. John Walker was obviously not racist. Uh, so I don't know what do you want me to say? Do you like it's the thing that I don't like about these Geeks and Gamers channels? It seems like they aren't aware that racism exists because I don't I believe Ryan Kinel's from Dallas. I don't know, somewhere around Dallas. Um, a lot of times people are very isolated from the reality of the situation. For example, police will target black people. That's something that's undebatable. I look, and I'm somebody who doesn't believe in attacking white people. Like, I always cringe when I see people making fun of white people on Twitter. Although I don't care. I make fun of white people too. I make fun of my white friends, but also my white friends make fun of me for being Mexican, so I don't care. But basically, it seems you do realize cops do will target minorities specifically. Now, there's a whole systemic issue because a lot, typically minorities, whether it's Mexicans, black people, and all that, they tend to live in more poverty areas and places with more poverty. They tend to have more crime there, and so there will be more police because in a gated community there will be more white people there. Let's not deny that. Police will probably not search it because they're not expecting to see any crime. In a much lower, lower community in a lower neighborhood, lower class, they're going to be patrolling there because they expect more crime, especially if crime is more often there. And so there is racial profiling at times because sadly, whether you want to deny it or not, black people are still seen as lesser by a lot of people. Sadly, there it is. And I said this in a video once. I remember I had a barber. Now my barber's Honduran. I don't know why. Like, out of all the Hispanics, Hondurans should be the least racist because I think they have most black people, at least around in Central America ish. Like in El Salvador, Guatemala, Nicaragua, you don't really see black people, but in Honduras, you do see more black people. But basically, I remember I always get haircuts. I mean, I haven't been there in a year, but I always got haircuts there. And so her barber shop is her garage. Like her garage, she transformed it into a business. It looks real. It looks legitimate, and she uses her home. So she'll always have it locked. And I think on 5 occasions, uh, I walked in. Everything's cool. She gives me a haircut, and I think once I asked her, I was like, hey, why do you leave it locked, especially when there's an open sign and all that? And she could have just said, oh, I'm just afraid of getting robbed. That's normal. Like everyone's afraid of getting robbed. I'm always very like anytime I'm out in public or anything, I'm always looking around. I always got my pocket knife with me, and I'm also somebody who believes you should carry a pistol with you. I honestly think that a lot of people need gun safety. I think a lot of people, or at least if you're in the right mindset, I do. We'll not get into that, but I do think maybe owning a weapon is always good, whether it's pepper spray, a gun, a knife, or something. I think self defense is always good, and I was fine with that. I was like, all right, that makes sense. But she didn't say that. She said, oh, I'm afraid a black person will rob me. And she has told me this on 5 occasions. And she says, oh, I can cut black hair. And I believe her because she's a talented barber. But she specifically kept every time telling me, I'm just afraid a black person will rob me because, black people rob most. And every time she said that, I was like, huh. But I've also heard this from a lot of people, you know people fear black people most because they're still seen as lesser, at least by a lot of people. Just because you don't doesn't mean, because there's even people out there who will say they don't, but they still feel that way. Because a lot of people have inner, like, for example, I'm not gonna lie to you, when it comes to gay relationships in movies, I'm always cool with it. I'm always like Lightyear when there was the lesbian kiss scene. I'm always cool with it. But within me, in my own mindset, when I watch a gay kiss scene, I'm always awkward about it. I always like, but at the same time, I'm also like, oh, that's just my own little prejudice in my mind. I should get rid of that. But it is in my mind still engraved that when I see a gay same-sex couple kiss, I always feel awkward about it. And there are still people, and in society, there's still people who feel that way about specific races. Like, for example, sometimes maybe you'll see a Hispanic man and you'll be like, oh man, this guy doesn't know English. I'm not going to even try talking to them. Or a black person, you'll think, oh, this black person's stealing. I mean, if you even look at convenience stores, I actually knew this one convenience store owner a couple years ago who literally would tell me that anytime a black person would walk in, they would strictly look at that person. But they always specifically told me that they would only look at the black person. And that just happens in society. And I feel like it's very disingenuous to say, oh, there's no black issues in America. There are issues in America. But I'll still say this: I would rather live here than almost any country out there, Now, maybe that's because I haven't gone to Europe or Asia or Canada even. But as somebody who did grow up in an immigrant household, as somebody who has seen Central America, who has been to Mexico, who's seen what a lot of other countries are like, I'm telling you right now, I thank God I live in America because the issues here are less severe than the issues in like Mexico or Salvador or all these other countries. So I'm always grateful living here, and God bless America. But there are still issues in America. Again, and that's largely because we're a very diverse country. There's a lot of people from different cultures here, and I think America still needs improvement. And sadly, whether you want to deny it or not, black people are still seen as lesser. It's this whole systemic issue. I think it's difficult. And again, I don't think Ryan Kinel's racist. I'm gonna say this right now. If somebody calls Ryan Kinel racist in the comments, please leave. I think people need to stop. And again, I'll say this. I know I'm repeating myself, but please stop using the term racist so liberally because at this point it means nothing. It means if I say Ryan Kinel's racist, no one gives a shit anymore because we say that word so often that it means nothing. I definitely think he's disrespecting minorities by constantly just downplaying actual issues in society. But still, I am so exhausted of just hearing the term racist being thrown around that it means nothing anymore. It means jack shit nothing. Yes, there's actual racist people, but even then, if you want to educate them, you can't just say you're racist, you're white supremacist, you're this, you're that. It's like that's not going to help anything. But
that. Follows it up. It's unclear if Chris Evans would reprise his role as the first Captain America, although the question of who's entitled to carry the shield continues. All bets are off. Having stat casts and solo add-ins in key Marvel is a key Marvel ingredient at this point. Well, there was a reply, and again, it was from Chris Evans. Sam Wilson is Captain America. And this got so much interaction, so much attention that the Hollywood Reporter basically had to send out a clarifying tweet. We hear you. We weren't clear. Yes, Anthony Mackie is Captain America. And so, of course, as a result...
I don't get why they care so much. That just seems like a simple tweet. I don't know. Geeks and gamers, they seem to be complaining about things that don't need complaining, you know? Like, this was literally just Hollywood Reporter saying, hey, our sources have told us Anthony Mackie is going to be Captain America and Captain America 4. It's going to be directed by Julius Ona. I don't get why they care so much.
We have seen Twitter been ablaze with people giving their opinions on who should be Captain America right now. And you can't argue that, yes, indeed, in the MCU, Sam Wilson has been given the title of Captain America. And in fact, the MCU has done their best job to beat you.
I will say, I do wonder, would they have cared this much if Bucky was I mean, I'll say this right now. If Bucky had been Captain America, it would have been stupid because Bucky is still controlled. Like, you can say, Mission Report, December 16, 1991. You know, you can't trust Bucky, especially with the mantle of Captain America. And you cannot trust him with that deadly shield. But anyways.
Over the head with the fact that, look, everybody, they consider him Captain America. Look, he's Captain America. He's Captain America. He's Captain...
No shit, Sherlock. What do you think the MCU is going to do? Captain America was the face of the franchise. If they saw that... It's like Ryan Kinel. Let's say Ryan Kinel one day decides, hey, I'm going to retire from YouTube. I want to be with my family, friends. I want to relax. And he gets, I don't know, me. Let's say he hires me and I start running the RK Outpost channel. Yeah, when I make videos, you're probably going to promote that I'm the new head of the channel. Or at least the face of the channel. No shit, Sherlock. What do you... Even the Geeks and Gamers channel, when they have Josiah Rises or Ryan or anyone else handling like some videos that Jeremy can't, they promote that person for that video. What did you think they were going to do? Not promote Sam Wilson? Not show Sam Wilson interacting with other Avengers? What? And in fact, they've barely done shit. All they've done is show the show, and that's it. You haven't seen Sam actually show up in, like, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. You haven't seen him show up in, like, Ant-Man, or, not Ant-Man. You haven't seen, well, he was an Ant-Man, but you haven't seen him in, like, freaking Thor, Love and Thunder. So I guess that's a spoiler. But you haven't seen him in shit besides the show called Falcon and Winter Soldier. I don't get why you care so much.
That's literally everywhere. This is Captain America 4 updates. I'm Captain America. Nice job, Cap. You're welcome, Cap. Well done, Scott. Thanks, Cap. They are doing everything they...
Yeah, but no one actually watched this. What is this even from? This isn't even from a movie or a show. Who gives a shit? then no shit they're gonna promote Sam as the new Captain America. It's the same if someone replaced you on your channel. You're probably gonna start promoting that person as the new face of your channel. Like, what do you want me to tell you? What do you want me to tell you, man? It just seems like they complain about things that don't need complaining. Like, this wasn't even something. This wasn't racially motivated. This wasn't anything. It's not woke. It's not virtue signaling. Look, the only way I could say this tweet is virtue signaling is if Chris Evans said Captain America's black, and if you don't like the new black Captain America, then you're a white supremacist, Ku Klux Klan, torch grabbing, I don't know, ghost face. I don't know. If you had said that, I could understand making a video because that would be Chris Evans virtue signaling. But this isn't this is jack shit nothing. This is jack shit nothing. If you hadn't seen these images, you probably would have never seen at all this clip.
That you should think too that Sam Wilson is worthy of Captain America's shield.
No shit, Sherlock. Okay, let me give you an example. Endgame. In Endgame, they hit you over the head that Captain America can now hold Mjolnir. And they tell you, in the movie, accept that Captain America is worthy and can hold Mjolnir. Again, what are we complaining about? What are we complaining about?
And of course, in the comic books, you did see Sam Wilson take over as Captain America for a while. In the same way that you saw Bucky Barnes take over as Captain America for a while. But none of those things really went. That
probably would have gotten his pee hard, you know. Again, the white male's got to lead. I'm just kidding. Hey, let's just be glad they didn't get a Mexican, cause we ain't need no Captain Mexico, man. Yes, he'd probably just be helping the cartel and the immigrants coming into the country. I'm just kidding.
For very long, all those things eventually revert at some point back to Steve Rogers as Captain America because it just doesn't work. It just doesn't sell. And there's quite a few people who are upset because they didn't want.
Well, he's not wrong about that because Steve Rogers is the most known version of the character. Well, he is the version of the character. I do want to know what Ryan Kinel's thoughts are on Miles Morales. My assumption is maybe he likes the movie. I don't know. I can't clarify that. But there are also multiple Spider-Man. There's Gwen Spider-Noir, Miles Morales. There's Spider-Man 2099. There's many versions of the character. I don't know why this thing can't be done with Captain America.
Sam Wilson to be Captain America because they liked him as Falcon. Falcon is one of the oldest and most well-known original black characters in comic books. He wasn't some tokenized race swap character. He was an original black character.
Well, I mean, this isn't race swapping. This is the same exact character, just wearing a different costume. Like, it's really that. It's even his still same name, Sam Wilson. I don't know.
In the same way that I think there'd be a lot of people who felt it would be really cheap if you took the character of Cyborg in DC and just decided to make him Superman. No, I mean, Cyborg is...
Wait, no, hold on. Nah, man. You can't be this stupid. Cyborg and Superman's connection is far more different than Falcon and Captain America. It's far more... Do I even need to explain? First of all, remember, Cyborg's origin doesn't have anything to do with Superman. It really doesn't. Falcon, on the other hand, worked with Captain America, especially in the MCU. And the MCU, Falcon was the main to-go guy. He is the one who helped Cap more in the modern world. You know? And that's why Cap finds him. He sees him as the perfect fit because he trusts him. He knows, because we've seen throughout the movies that Sam is a very trustworthy guy. He's going to fight for the flag. He has military experience. Cyborg and Superman, on the other hand, Superman is a Kryptonian being from another world who landed here. Cyborg is a damaged kid who, you know, because of an accident, now he's forced to be like a half robot. They're so different. What do you mean? How would Cyborg even be Superman? First of all, Cyborg can already fly, or he has laser. What? I'm honestly baffled. I'm baffled. I think this is stupid.
He's an original black character. He's one of the most well-known ones out there. Why?
You're acting as if they just randomly brought a new black guy, just to like. I can understand getting complaints if, like, let's say we had never seen Sam Wilson in the MCU and they just put him at the end of Endgame and Cap gave him the shield. I can understand that complaint. But we've already seen Sam. I mean, what's the name of the show? It's called Falcon and Winter Soldier. For most of that show, you see him in the Falcon suit. That's not race swapping. It's not tokenizing. I'm sorry. Are you hanging out with way too much with Young Rippo? Because it seems like you actually don't understand what the term tokenizing means. Um, I don't know, man. It just seems stupid.
You have to give him the title of a white superhero to make you feel like you've done
Oh
something
my
impressive. There are legitimate.
I guarantee you don't give a shit. I can guarantee you Ryan Kinel doesn't actually care about white superheroes, black superheroes. I guarantee you he doesn't give a shit. The only reason why he's saying this is because he's complaining about stupid shit that means jack shit nothing. Oh my god. And look, I'm fine if you're like, hey, I think Sam. It's stupid to have Sam carry on the mantle. And I understand, even if you like Sam and you still think Steve, because I still think Steve Rogers is the Captain America, and I'm not gonna call Sam Captain America. I'm gonna call him Falcon because I'm used to that. But who cares? Who fucking cares? It's the same character. He's just wearing a different costume, going by a different name. Wasn't that the whole point of Captain America though? Captain America can be anyone. He was just a kid from Brooklyn. He literally says it in the movies. Just a kid from Brooklyn, man.
Reasons that a lot of people in the MCU were very torn between who should get the mantle, who should get the shield, and we have this mantle talk all the time. It's absolute bullshit.
I mean, it's a vibranium weapon that literally is breaking the laws of physics. Why wouldn't they want that weapon still being used? Why would they just hang it up? Why? Like, they've already established that in America they don't really have much vibranium. Why would they just hang it up? Of course someone's got to carry it. And of course the person who should carry it should be someone who, first of all, has experience with combat, should have some form of military experience, and also maybe has experience working alongside Cap, so he's had enough time to see what Cap has done. Of course.
But a lot of people thought, look at Bucky Barnes. He has super strength. He obviously has known Cap for a very long time. But Sam Wilson's right there too. The audience was very split in that moment, like I think a lot of people.
Well, that is true. That is true. I know some people. I'll say this right now. I kind of wish that in that scene, Bucky had walked next to Sam and they both talked, because I found it weird that Bucky, in the last time he sees his best friend, he tells his other friend, "Hey, you go see him instead." I found that really silly. Like, I was like, wait, that's your best friend. Why wouldn't you just go talk to him at least a little bit? Be like, hey, Steve, how are you doing, man? Like, I found that weird. But like I said earlier, I think logically it makes sense that Sam takes the mantle. Because Bucky, yes, it's changing. But remember, Bucky, for the most time in the MCU, was a criminal. He was a bad guy. And he also can be easily manipulated. He can easily be mind controlled. And also Sam has shown in far more movies that he's more experienced with the military. He's also been more good. He's good at heart. He wants to protect the nation. He fought alongside more with Cap than Bucky did, at least in the MCU.
Had Falcon in the Winter Soldier TV series, so they could try to convince people that no, this is the right choice. Sam Wilson will be Captain America going forward. But I honestly just think it's laughable that you had to have the mainstream media essentially like apologize to an actor who will not be Captain America again, at least according to him, and isn't Captain America now, because they needed him to come out just to clarify that Sam Wilson is Captain.
No shit, Sherlock. Why wouldn't they do this? You also have to remember that not that many people there's a lot of people with Disney Plus, but there are probably a lot of MCU fans who haven't been keeping up with the Disney Plus series. So they kind of, because imagine you don't keep up with the Disney Plus shows and then you go on to watch Captain America 4, because some people just don't care about streaming. You don't get that many views in streaming compared to theatrical released movies. I don't know, man. It just seems like you're complaining about jack shit nothing, you know? Again, I wish Falcon had stayed as Falcon. I mean, he still is Falcon. But I don't know, man. I just think the complaining is about nothing.
America. You can choose to accept that a lot of those reasons are valid or not, or you can just label them all as bigots. But there are a lot of people.
Okay, I'll agree with him on one thing. I genuinely think especially with social media and internet culture and more younger people now just learning about stuff like racism, sexism, and all this, I think one problem that's led to is the terms like bigot or sexist and all these terms almost meaning nothing at this point. which is why I get so exhausted. Like, and again, I fell into this trap many times. I'll often be like, oh, they're racist and all that. But I've also learned throughout time that that means nothing anymore. That those terms, because social media has kind of normalized using those terms to like things that don't matter, I feel like a lot of people have normalized those words to the point where it almost means nothing. I mean, there's still big allegations, but the terms don't mean anything. But I'll also go back to Ryan and the Geeks and Gamers. You've used the term woke so much that it means jack shit nothing now. When you use social justice warrior, when you use these terms, they mean nothing. And you've also misinterpreted what virtue signaling actually means. I don't think these people know what virtue signaling really means. That's actually one thing I'll agree with the Geeks and Gamers squad and everything. There is virtue signaling, but I also don't think it's at the point that they think it is. I don't think they even know what virtue signaling is. That's actually one thing that frustrates me about the Geeks and Gamers, but let's continue with the video.
Out there who think the only legitimate Captain America that they care about is Steve Rogers, and there's also a lot of people that want Sam
Well, that is
Wilson
true.
to remain as Falcon because they love that character. Let me know your thoughts about all this in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out.
All right. Yeah. So, I mean, that is what he said at the end is true. There's a lot of people that still see Steve as Captain America, and they still see Sam as Falcon, even after the show came out. And that's where I'm at. To me, at the end of the day, you want to know who is Captain America? Steve freaking Rogers. There he is, right there. That's Captain America. And so I agree with him at that last point. But I also felt like this video was jack shit nothing. I was complaining about nothingness. I didn't feel what the fuck the point of the video was. I didn't feel like there was a genuine, actual complaint besides, oh my god, my stupid audience is going to fall for this trap of wokeness, SJW. So let's complain about virtue. This isn't virtue signal. I mean, he didn't say that explicitly, but he was trying to imply that they were virtue signaling. I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like I just think they're very ignorant. I think they're just really stupid at sometimes. And I feel like a lot of their complaints mean jack shit nothing. I don't know, but it is what it is. You guys let me know in the comments what you think of this video. Whatever it is, please let us know in the comments. Sorry if I rambled on too long. I feel like one thing I want to start doing on the channel more often when I react to Geeks and Gamers is I want to add a nuance. I want to be as objective I want to try, like, I want to stop calling them racist and so man babies. I want to actually start respecting them by watching their entire video and giving commentary, because I feel like I've also fallen into, because I've seen my friends like Max and all these other people who will react to their videos, and it doesn't seem like they want to add nuance. And I want to try my best to add nuance because I feel like a lot of people aren't adding nuance. But, like, for example, my good friend Saggy Melons, I think some of you guys are aware of who she is. One thing I like about her is that she's saying the same things I've said, which is terms like racist, bigot, and all this, they mean nothing anymore because people have overused those terms. Because that's just how society is. When you overuse terms, it means jack shit nothing. Like, for example, on my channel, a lot of people who aren't subscribed to me are not going to get context, but on my streams, we'll jokingly say racially motivated. It's just a little quick joke. We'll just jokingly say the term racially motivated at random points. And here on this channel, racially motivated is just a quick joke. It means nothing. But if you go on other channels and you say racially motivated, that's serious because over there, it's not normalized. While here it is normalized to say the term racially motivated. Because, a culture normalizing things. Like, for example, a lot of cultures, you can say the F slur, no one cares. But in some cultures, if you say the F slur, it's bad. It's just a cultural thing. Use those terms, the more you normalize it, the more it means nothing. For example, if you call somebody ugly, no one cares anymore because that term's been used a lot. But if you call somebody, I don't know, the F slur, then they'll be like, oh, what the F, man? Why'd you call me that? Like, I don't know. But I feel like a lot of people need to add some nuance. I think Ryan Kinel is overall a moron. He's an idiot. But at the same time, I don't believe he's racist. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Yes! Hell yeah! Hey, come on, baby! Come on! Yes! Come on!